It's your life, it's our life. It's our life. It's our life. Come on. It's my life, it's your life. It's our life. It's our life. It's our life. You got to make a decision.
That we do. Welcome to the Hollatics Live Interactive Podcast. I am RAS, your host, Chief Holla-tics Narrator Orator. And I'm also a Holla-tic. Holla-tics, y'all weigh in tonight. This is the Holla-tic Live Interactive Podcast. You already knew that. Got Holla-tics weighing in from across the globe. A lot going on in the world today, man. Got a lot to talk about. Mostly the RAS Report and, you know, being we going into the holidays and we take Fridays off now. We don't do the Holla-tic Live show on Fridays. I did want to take tonight to talk about COVID-19. So got to pay its due respect, man. We can't act like it's not happening and that, you know, fellow countrymen are not getting sick and dying. So going to talk about the RAS Report. We're going to talk about some COVID-19, and we're going to talk about whatever y'all want to talk about. Holla-tics y'all weigh in. If you're just tuning in, it's the Holla-tic Live Interactive Podcast. I am RAS, your host, Chief Holla-tics Narrator Orator, and I'm also the hardest Negro under 6 feet since Eric Easy E. Wright. First time tuning into the Holla-tics, you might be asking yourself, what the heck is a Holla-tic? Well, a Holla-tic is a person who's not afraid to say whatever they need to say. And we don't do it for entertainment purposes, of course, but we do it to sharpen each other, man. Be better citizens, countrymen, man. This is not an entertainment podcast because we feel like a lot of people are already doing entertainment well, so we don't waste our time with it. What we do is we talk about stuff me and you have to do. What I call me plus you equals choice is Party Side 2.0. That is what the Holla-tic Live Interactive Podcast is about. I got Holla-tics checking in from around the globe. We're streaming via Facebook, my personal page, Delbert Harris, as well as the Countryverse All-Star Network page, as well as streaming live on YouTube. Holla-tics Live. So, Holla-tics y'all weigh in tonight. See, I got my Christmas colors, man. I normally don't stray away from my blue, but I got my Christmas colors hanging because it's the holidays. Looks great. Y'all know I've been eating on these cookies for about a week now, so they real, not just props. Holla-tic Mike Robinson is weighing in tonight. Holla-tic 7 Grogan is weighing in tonight. Oh my goodness, we got royalty in the house. Chanel Godfrey is tuning in. What's up, Chanel? This is the Holla-tic Live Interactive Podcast. Me plus you plus choices. You follow my post though, Chanel, so you know what the show is about. Not much different from my posts. I just give people real time to respond back to not only myself but my fellow Holla-ticians as well. So Holla-tics are checking in from around the globe. I need to see some of y'all didn't subscribe to the group Casnet because I can't see who your face is, man. You know, I see you checking in, but I don't know who you are. It's because you didn't accept my invite. But it's all good. I put in the extra work, man. If you're just tuning in, this is the Holla-tic Live Interactive Podcast. I am RAS, your host, Chief Holla-tics Narrator. That is Holla-tic Rod Woe and Holla-tic Gabriel Robinson is checking in tonight from the Casnet page. But let me not filibuster, man. Let's get into some of this good stuff here. You know, I've been using my latest platform here, which is StreamYard. So I don't have my music, to play the tricks with y'all, man. So we're going to get right into the RAS Report tonight. Lennar Homes up on earnings today. Now, we talked about Lennar last night and that they had an earnings report that was due today. I think the stock shot up as much as 8%, 9%, almost 10% in a day on earnings. I think it's a great hold for the next 3 months. Why? Because money is getting ready to be injected into Americans and into society, into the public. I wanted to say the American society or the public. And of course, y'all know when they do that, we will experience some type of inflation. And home sales, the price of home sales will go up, not only because of inflation, but also because of the demand. So Lennar Homes, I'm sorry, is up on earnings today. Great hold for the next 3 months. High stock though, so don't think you're gonna bust your piggy bank and buy that one. I think it's trading at about 100. What is it, 100? Nah, about 80 something bucks, I think. I'm not sure. Let me look, y'all. Holla-tics y'all weigh in, man. Rod, what you think about that, man? You're a Lennar Homes fan, right? I personally don't like their homes myself. But y'all may be big on them. I'm not sure what the stock is trading at. Somebody looked it up. Holla-tics, one of y'all look it up, man. Lennar Homes is up on earnings today. Great 3-month hold. Money being injected into the public means more purchases to growing demand. Also, inflation looms, so there will be higher prices on homes. I think Lennar Homes is a good hold for the next 3 months. I think the tick symbol is LEN. Somebody look that up, man. Tell me what is that per share? I was not a believer yesterday when I saw they was up for earnings. So, but when they beat on their earnings report, which is not uncommon. Here we go. Which is not uncommon. But when they beat on their earnings report, I will always, let me say this before and then we'll kind of keep it rolling. I don't what's up? 79 PJ. That's Holla-tics PJ weighing in, say 79.9. Other Holla-tics say 80 bucks a share. Good. Appreciate y'all. I was always taught in investing and trading to not hold a stock through us up $5 today. They had a good earnings report, says Holla-tics TJ. They up $5 today, approximately 7%, if I'm not mistaken, right, PJ? But I was always taught when I was learning to trade and invest in equities, I was taught to not hold through earnings reports because the stock market is kind of subject to the big money, the whales. You ever watch Shark Tank, right? Well, sharks are cool, but whales are cooler. Whales are the people that have bigger money and they move the water. And so the stock market is moved by the whales. And even though sometimes certain companies, PJ say, yes, sir, I was up. I was right about 7%. Sometimes when companies, they may even do well on stock on earnings report, but you never know how the whale's going to respond. Sometimes when a company don't beat as much or they don't do as well as analysts thought they would have, you'll have a reverse reaction to the earnings report. So, I was taught when I was being mentored to invest in trade to never hold through earnings reports. And so when I spoke about Lenore Holmes yesterday, I was saying that they had an earnings report that was due today. And so I never read or seen how much they beat on the earnings report. I just went, and as I looked and saw the stock was up 7%. At one point in time, it was up almost 8-9% earlier today. Gabe say, do you have Lenore stock? No, I don't, Gabe. I was watching it. I knew his earnings report was up yesterday, so it made the RAS report because of his earnings was due yesterday. I think it's a good 3-month hold. Do I plan to hold it and buy it? No. And full disclaimer, no, I do not. I have a couple other ones that I feel a little stronger about. Now, I do feel strong about Lenore Holmes, but I got a couple other stocks that I feel a little bit stronger about. So, but if you got $80, $160, 240 bucks, $360, what is 80 times 5? 400 bucks. I think it's a good 3-month hold. If you got 500 bucks and you can afford to put it aside for about the next 3 months, I think you will see at least a 20% profit on that. You may even see a 50% profit on it. You may double your money. I believe Lenore Holmes has that power to do that in the next 3 months. And I believe the next earning report, and y'all quote this, y'all can rewind this show back when it happens. And you say that dude is an oracle. He's a guru. Their next earnings report will be better than this one. And I think the stock it went up $5 today. So you do the math. Anytime you make 20% on a trade, I think is good. So do I think Lenore Holmes will make you 20% in the next 3 months? Yes, I do. I think it'll do over that. So according to Holla-tics Gabe, do I have Lenore stock? No, I do not, Gabe. Do I plan on buying it? At this moment, I do not. I am going to watch it. And if some of the priority plays that I have that I'm going to make, or that I'm making, should I say, if one of those fail, then Lenore moves closer up in my pole position. So that's kind of how I look at stocks. Gabe say you definitely know you're stuck when it comes to the stock market. I done made myself sick with this, Gabe. Do not try this at home. My wife just tolerates this, but all I do is watch CNBC News and listen to classical music and listen to fire beats and write songs and other stuff, man. So I'm really sick with this here, man. So Holla-tics, y'all weigh in. How many of y'all got houses that are built by Lenore Holmes? Can the church say amen? Amen, preacher. Holla-tics, y'all weigh in. Also on the RAS report is, I've been talking about this company forever, right? Mind Meds. Now, anytime the ticker symbol is MMEDF, I tell y'all this. If you heard me say this plenty of times already, please don't be annoyed by my repetitiveness, because some people may just be tuning in for the first time. But Mind Meds, MMEDF. Anytime you see F at the back of a stock, that means it is OTC, over the counter, pink sheets. That means it is not met the requirements to be on the NASDAQ or the New York Stock Exchange. I like this stock. I own this stock right here. I do own this stock. I own a lot of. Let's Gabe, I'm sitting here looking at your comments, Gabe. I'm gonna read them off in a second. I'm mesmerized, but I do own Mind Meds, y'all. I'm accumulating this stock right here. Yesterday, Mind Meds made $1 million deal with an underwriter for shares purchases of $440. Now, if y'all been keeping up with my RAS reports, they were surfing. You know, they almost did up to $5, but when they made the deal for the underwriter for 440, you seen the stock drop for the last 2 days. That is because, you know, when someone purchases 1 million shares at 440, they pretty much putting a cap on something that didn't have a cap on it. You know, you had people trading saying this could be worth $5, $6, $7, $8. And then the company sells 1 million shares at $4.40. The company is pretty much telling you that at this point in time, we think it's a fair price to pay $4 for our stock. So I believe in this company a whole lot. It is an innovative product. It's not something that I probably will use myself or even recommend, but I think the management, the team, and what they're putting together, I think is going to do well within the next 6 months, quarter, maybe even a month. That is how I look to trade. I think once Mind Meds make it to the NASDAQ, rumors are in the air that they're filling out the paperwork to be listed on the NASDAQ. I believe once they get there, you will see a enormous boost in the stock. And then once once marijuana is legalized, you will see another boost in this stock. So I do hold Mind Meds. I suggest that you hold it. I think you will see a significant amount of profit in the next quarter, maybe even less time than that. I'm glad I started taping the RAS reports, man, because, I'll be checking out Gary V, and he be like doing like, reviews when he said something 10 years ago, 5 years ago. And, he be nailing it, man. I'm glad I'm able to do that same thing, because when y'all go back and look at some of these RAS, I'll take the clips and then bring them up to speed, and I'll be like, see, didn't I tell y'all? But Mind Meds is in the RAS report today, man. I think it's trading at about $3.50 a share. I think it's still, again, they sold 1 million shares to an underwriter for 440. So that is a giveaway that if the stock is trading at 340 that they sold to an underwriter for $4, you already know it's trading undervalued. And I believe the company has a huge future. Now, when we go to talk about what they do, that's when it get a little tricky, because the company is in trial using LSD-assisted therapy for anxiety. And so pretty much they are using street drugs, taking the harshness out of them or the danger in them, and then reversing and using them for good. Again, it's an innovative idea. What made me like the company was the charts. And I looked at the personnel who was behind it and invested in it. Now, when you trade stock, let me say this: there's 2 types of ways you can analyze a company. It's fundamental and technical. The technical analysts on this company made me turn my head and say, I like this. And then when I seen that, a couple of the investors behind it, one being Kevin O'Leary from Shark Tank, it made me even more interested in the company. At that time, it was trading at about $1 a share. Kevin O'Leary came out publicly and said he was happy to be on the ground level with this, and he felt like they was going to do this, blah, 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 made some big blah, 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 blah. So I began to watch the stock. When I seen the stock even begin to rise even higher, I invested in it. I bought shares, and then I accumulated more, and it did really well from the price I bought it at. I got it at $2.50 a share. It is now trading at $3.50, $3.60 a share. So I'm already up $1 a share. And again, they signed a deal with an underwriter for $4.40 a share. So that is the true value. That is the company stating what its value is per share. So my meds investors, man, I see you guys in 21, man. We're gonna cash in at least 10 G's worth of profit and maybe take a COVID-free vacation to Dubai. Holla-tics y'all way in if you feeling mind meds and you invest. Holla-tic Gabe asked me, am I holding long on mind meds? Yes, I am, Gabe. My goal with mind meds is to cash out at about no less than 10 grand. I want to accumulate enough shares and then cash out in 21. I want mind meds to be my whale catch of 21. I want to cash out at a minimum of 10 grand. Now, that's my goal. Now, what happens when rent is due and I'm about 2-3 G's up and my wife ain't feeling me because bills and pressure getting tight? Then I cash out and then say, man, I gotta start all over again. Or I cash out, and we celebrate here. I make it rain on the Hollatics show. One of the two, man. You know, I have personal goals I set against myself. When you learn to trade and you do your thing, you know, you don't have to compete against others, man. You become your own benchmark holder, man. So Hollatics y'all way in, man. I got one more equity in the RAS report, then we're gonna get down into some COVID talk tonight. Also in the RAS report, man, this is the sleeper. Now here go the sleeper, Gabe. The pound versus the dollar is up to 135 now from a week low of 131. That is a 4 cents adjustment while the Brits put their economy affairs in order. Great Forex opportunity if you missed it. I've been talking about this for a week now. The pound was down to 130. It is now trading at 135. That is 4 cents on the pound. That is like somebody saying, Raz, for every dollar you give me, I'm going to give you 4 cents. And you be like, yeah, Raz, whatever. You give him $100, you get $4. 4 cents, $4, right? But remember, when you trade Forex, they give you the ability for leverage, margin, meaning when you open a Forex account, a good Forex account, you get 1 to 200 leverage, meaning for every dollar you have, they give you $100 worth of trading power. So now the $500 that you start your account with, you now have $10,000 worth of trading power. So now do the math again. If I told you I'm going to give you 4 cents on every dollar and you brought me $10,000, tell me how much money would you have made? That was in 1 week. A $500 investment could have made you what? Somebody do the math. What's 10,000 times 4? I'm sorry, 0.04, 4 cents. PJ, you still there? Do the math on that one. What is 10,000 times 0.04? It's an easy one, but I'm trying to read and then stay connected with my audience. Holla-tic Gabe say, okay, cool. Is this on Robinhood as well? Are you invested in the pound? No, My meds is not on Robinhood because it's over the counter. It's pink sheet. It has not made it to Robinhood yet. Once they are listed with the NASDAQ, then they will probably make it to Robinhood. Now, as for the pound, I didn't have an opportunity to take advantage of this one, Gabe, or I would have. I have an account, a Forex account with Onanda. That's OANDA. Y'all look them up. I haven't traded Forex in about 3 years. And so my account had cobwebs and crickets in it. When I seen this opportunity for the pound, I went and to try to refund my account, but they told me, I guess, regulation, because it's been so long, that I had to call in and do some more verification. $400, PJ said. So for a $500 investment, which would have given you $10,000 worth of equity to trade, you could have made $400 in less than a week on Forex, on the pound, when it dropped to 131 and then went up today at 135. I knew when it was at 131, I was like, wow, people are not understanding what this is in the Forex world. But I wasn't in position. When I tried to blow the cobwebs off my account, I had to do some re-verification stuff, jargon. And so now that I'm clear, I done missed the move, but I am watching it though, Gabe. Because for some reason, if it dipped back that low, then of course I will be taking advantage of it, man. Holla-tics, y'all weigh in. Holla-tics Rod will say, your coffee cup is not on point. I know, huh? See, Rod, this of course I got the Riley Retreats, but the Ember, it keeps the coffee hot. It keeps it at the coffee temperature, the 135, that what coffee temperature is supposed to be drank. The Ember keeps it right there. So, right, it's competing really hard for you right there. Bitcoin at all-time high, says Rawo. Yes, it is. It has broken the $20,000 mark. Now, quick story before we go into the floor subject tonight, because we got to do that. It's 8 o'clock. I was working in a chemical plant. Don't know how many years ago. I got fired in 17. What is this? 26, maybe 5 years ago, right? 5, maybe 6 years ago. I remember Bitcoin was trading at $500. And as Rod Woe said, Bitcoin has hit an all-time high of 20,000. Now, I got to say this, Holla-tics, before we move to the floor subject. I sit back and thought about how well I was getting paid at the chemical plant. And I said to myself, Raz, if you would have bought 100 Bitcoins at $5,000, here it is 5 years later, you would be a millionaire. You have $2 million. I couldn't kick myself in the behind because nobody had ever seen Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, and none of that. So nobody could have guessed it would have done what it done. But let me tell you why I tell you that story and what that made me do. That made me say, God, open my eyes and give me the passion and intensity that I have right now when I think about Bitcoin for the next. I need to know today, what is that thing I need that in 5 years is going to put $2.3 million in my pocket, man. I watched it happen with Bitcoin. I remember I was trading Bitcoin when it was trading at $500 for Bitcoin, one. And I used to put it in there and make $50-$60 and take it out, gas money, right? I used to play with Bitcoin. And then now it's at 20 grand, as Rod Woe was saying, all-time high, man. That was $2.3 million if I would have just invested $5,000 5 years ago. True story, people. Y'all hear people say that type of stuff, but it is true, man. You know, Hollatics, we get ready to go to the floor tonight, so y'all know what it is, man. Tonight on the floor, Hollatics, I need you to get your Instagram fingers, your Facebook fingers, your Snapchat fingers, your WhatsApp fingers, your TikTok fingers, your Twitter fingers, your message me fingers, anything you choose to use when you write your most heartfelt, passionate, grittiest, grimiest, snap the finger in the air and read this Negro or this chick responses. Tonight, I didn't want to take it light. Again, we are not doing the Hollatics show on Fridays. If you're just tuning in, it's the Hollatics Live Interactive Podcast. I am RAS, your host, chief politician, narrator, orator. I'm also a Hollatic. And on the floor tonight, we are preparing for the floor subject. Tonight on the floor, I didn't want to take it light, folks, but we got to talk about it. COVID-19, according to the Johnson Hopkins University, 17,110,219 cases of coronavirus has been reported in the U.S. and 309,334 Americans have died of the virus. Are we doing enough here in the country? Again, tonight on the floor, COVID-19, according to the Johns Hopkins University, 17,110,219 cases of coronavirus have been reported in the U.S., 17 million people, and 309,334 Americans have died of the virus. Are we doing enough here in the country? Hollatics, I need y'all to weigh in tonight. Hollatic Gabe says it's never too late. He's talking about Bitcoin. You're right, Gabe. Love your positivity, brother. Love your commitment. You and Mike and Ride War and 7, man. Y'all here every night chopping it up, man. I need to keep brothers like y'all around me, man. Hollatics like y'all around me, man. This is true. If you're just tuning in, it's the Hollatics Live Interactive Podcast. Tonight on the floor. Didn't want to end the week without paying COVID is seriousness, man. We talk about a lot of stuff, have a lot of fun here. But 17 million people have been infected and 300,000 Americans have died, man. And I want to ask you, it's Hollatics, man. Do you feel like we're doing enough? Hollatics, y'all weigh in. Who's that? Rod will say 2 words. Pandemic. Rod, you and 7, man. Y'all, I love you 2 dudes, man. Y'all keep the night sauced and peppered up, man. Rod will say pandemic. I'm asking you, Hollatics. We doing enough as a country. Now, when I walk around, I see people wearing their masks. I see some idiots who I don't think they got a problem with wearing masks. I think they just being idiots. And so they walk around without wearing masks, or they just walk in stores and they not masked up, and then they get the personnel come chase them down and tell them to put a mask on, and they, just nutcases. They go through all these changes, but for the most part, the majority of the people in my community, man, we are applying. I see masks being worn. I'm not sure how much more people could do other than not gather. I wouldn't dare go into making it a personal responsibility for me to tell people not to gather, because I don't know people's situation and seeing your loved ones and where you are in life and the needs of your heart. I don't know where you are with all that. So I'm not in authority, or I'm not in position to tell people to, stop visiting or gathering so much so we can put a control. We can control what's going on in the country. So I'm not in that position, but I do hear the government saying that. And for the most part, I don't see any out of control gatherings in my community. Now, I don't live everywhere. And so I'm asking you, is it more? Is it more? Maybe you like me and you saying, yeah, Raz, people wearing their masks and people ain't just gathering out here. They ain't just tripping doing crazy stuff. So I'm asking you, do you believe we doing enough or is it more we can do? Is this thing going to run its course? Whether we are bad or good actors? Or is it a little bit more help we can be giving each other and the world? Hollatics, I'm asking you to weigh in tonight. COVID-19, according to the Johns Hopkins University, 17,110,219 cases of coronavirus has been reported in the U.S. 300,000 of those people have died. So are we doing enough here? Hollatics, y'all weigh in. Hollatics are weighing in. I'm just letting these amendments pile up before I get to running my mouth, man. Of course, I'm not just the narrator or orator, but I'm also a Hollatics, so I have to weigh in myself. Hollatic Rod will say normal recovery rate is 98%. The vaccine is 95%. Huh? Yeah. They want you to take the vaccine though, right? Matter of fact, I mean, with the conditions being the way they are, you can almost trust that, I won't say the government, but some organizations are going to come at you really forceful about taking it, especially if you on the medical forefront or you work for one of these Fortune 500 companies that are concerned about liability. You might be visited with some you need to handle your business type situations, man. So Rod will say normal recovery is 98%, but vaccine is 95%. Huh? I hear you, Rod. Hollatic Mike Robinson say, I don't think we're not doing enough because other countries like New Zealand did the necessary things like lockdown and other things, and they only like over 1,000 and something cases and not a lot of deaths. And because people listen and they did what they had to do. People listened and did what they had to do. That is true, Mike. Again, we talked about this, me and you and probably whoever else that night. I think part of the issue here in America is we're not only trying to protect lives, but we're trying to protect liberty at the same time. And so I think other countries can be like, y'all finna stay in the house or your family ain't gonna see you no more. And you finna wear these masks. Or I seen one video where some country, they had the authorities was just beating this dude with like, I guess it was like a leather baton. I mean, other countries do that type of stuff. But see, I think one of the issues with America is we're not only trying to protect our lives and each other's lives, but we're trying to protect the liberties of people too. And so Hollatic Mike, he was saying, I don't think we're doing enough because our country like New Zealand's countries like New Zealand did the necessary things like lockdown and other things, and they only had like 1,000 and some cases and not a lot of deaths. And because people listen and do what they had to do. That is true, Mike. Again, I think America is trying to make sure everybody keep their liberties. And so we you look at communist countries and you can, street justice. I understand that. I've always lived out street justice. Let me take this side bar to say this. And street justice is that, man, you're responsible for your actions and we can come pay you what we feel like we owe you when you act out of line. And so that's sort of like some of these other countries and their governments, I had a Chinese politic. It was a Western politics class. We was taking Chinese politics, and I had a teacher, and he was saying how, the government, once you become an enemy of the state in China, once you become an enemy of the government, it stays with you forever. Your family, your sons, all of it. The only way they can get that jacket off their back is that they leave the country. And so other countries play by other rules that we don't play with. And so I think they can almost guarantee they're going to have certain results because, their governments are more forceful or in control of getting what they want. And again, here in America, we're trying to protect lives and liberties. And so this is collateral damage, man. This is what we get in return for that. We get 17 million people infected and 300,000 died. Holla-tics y'all weigh in. PJ say it is a very serious thing, period. When you ask, is America doing enough? Would you mind qualifying that question a bit? I'm meaning, Holla-tic PJ, he's saying, qualify the question, are we doing enough? This is what I'm asking, PJ. Is it more we could be doing? You have on your mask, your wife have on her mask, and your kids have on your mask. But you're standing in line with some dude who's not standing 6 feet from you and he don't have his mask on. Should you go and say, hey, man, we're in the middle of a pandemic. Put your mask on. Should we do more of that? Is what I'm saying. I was watching TV and I seen, what is it, Wisconsin? One of those states, and they were very, very pro Donald Trump, and they wasn't taking COVID serious. So half of the community didn't even believe it was a real disease or a real plague. And so they wasn't, the whole community was not wearing masks. They just was told that it wasn't even serious, man. So, what can we do about that type of stuff is what I'm saying. Are we doing enough? Are we all serious about the mandates that our local and federal government has put on us? If we were serious, would the outbreak still be the same, or is the outbreak and these heightened numbers evidence that we're not doing enough? That is what I'm trying to say, PJ. Yeah, you got your mask on and your wife got her mask on and your kids got their masks on. But shouldn't you go out and charge some other people to put their masks on? That's what I mean by doing enough. Should we all be going through the extra? Because one of them 300,000 may not be there if everybody who listened committed to that. I'm not sure. I'm asking you, Holla-tics. I have my ideas, but I'm asking you, Holla-tics, y'all weigh in. Holla-tic Gabe Robinson say definitely could have followed the protocol set in place, but we're not being smart as people who are not wearing masks. We need to follow what these other countries are doing, but we don't know what else to do because people in America are rebelling against the system. This is true, Gabe. Right along with what I'm saying. Right along with what I'm saying. We're not only trying to protect lives in America, but we're trying to protect liberties. And that get a little hard, right? I had a right. I'm not one of them people that's big on that, man. Understand we live in a society that is built on laws. And those laws afford me my freedom here on earth, Of course, who the son set free is free indeed, and I live by that. But since I live in American society, I understand that the laws that they put in place is what affords me my freedom. So I'm not one of them big old people. I'm not one of them people that's big on saying what somebody forcing me to do, and I have a right to do. I'm not one of them people because I don't know. I guess my upbringing and being a black man and certain things have taught me that if somebody don't really want me to do something, they can do all they can, do enough in their power to stop me, and only God can counteract that. I don't have enough power to stop a billionaire, a millionaire, somebody else who has more clout or more power, more money. I can't stop them from doing something to me. Only God can. So I'm not big on standing in the streets and expressing what rights I have, and you can't make me do this and that. So a lot of people do. And I think that is why, these policies came out, man. It's nothing for us to wear a mask, man. It's nothing. It's nothing for us to wear a mask, man. But some people feel like it's an infringement of rights. So I'm saying, are we doing enough collectively? Or should we be collectively trying to keep our rights and just let who die, right? I'm not sure. Holla-tics, I'm asking y'all tonight, man. Holla-tic Gabe say, I don't think it's nothing that could be done that we people like that when people like that, there's no hope, in my opinion. It's true, Gabe. But you and Mike some big dudes, so I beg to differ. I think if you and Mike standing in line and y'all got masks on and I'm sitting here clowning, now y'all be like, hey, little ninja, you need to put your mask on. It's a pandemic out here. I would look and say, you know what, man, y'all right. Hey, y'all go to Gabe or Mike's page, man, and see them dudes. I'm like, maybe y'all could be doing more, man. Maybe y'all could be like mask patrol around here, Gabe. Y'all, hey, you step to me and say, man, put that mask on. I'll be like, you know what, dog, you right, bro. I need to put this mask on. Holla-tics y'all way in tonight. Mike Robb say, I believe if Trump didn't play down the seriousness of the virus, I believe we could prevented a lot of these deaths. That is true. Mike, I do believe Trump downplayed the virus, and I don't think he did it to be malicious, not to make excuse for him. Who cares, right? He's not our president. I can say what I want, but I think he was trying not to panic the American people, and it backfired. You get caught with your butt in the sling, and it backfires, man. Quick story, and then I weigh in for myself. I remember when George Bush was dealing with the flood in New Orleans, and it was a disaster. And I really don't think it was George Bush's fault. Not saying this is parallel with Trump, because I do think Trump made a call and it backfired on him. And that's kind of what my explaining is about. I remember when George Bush dealt with the flood in New Orleans, and I really don't think it was his fault, but it was a fight going on between the mayor of New Orleans and the governor. And I think that is where George Bush erred at. He tried to allow them to work it out. And then when it didn't work out, he wound up taking the hit for it. And what is my point with that? When you make a call and it go wrong, I think Trump made the call in an attempt not to have the country panic. It backfired on him. So I do believe his downplayment could have prevented. If he didn't downplay it, Mike, it could have prevented some deaths. Holla-tics y'all way in tonight. This is the Holla-tic Live Interactive Podcast. I am RAS, your host, chief, holla-tician, narrator, orator. I'm also a holla-tic, man. And so because I'm a holla-tic, I have to weigh in on the floor subjects, man. Tonight on the floor is COVID-19. This is the last show of the week. We're going out tonight, and I didn't want to end the night without taking some seriousness in it. Holla-tic Wolf. Alex Wolf is weighing in. I don't think we're doing enough, but it will run its course. We can't escape death no matter how hard we try. Just my opinion. That is Alex Wolf weighing in. He say, I don't think we're doing enough, but he said, I think we doing enough, but this thing is going to run this course. That is Alex Wolf. Thanks, Wolf, for tuning in. And because I always like balance, man. Holla-tic Alex Wolf say, I think we doing enough, but this thing is going to run its course, man. That is, that is a sobering way to look at it, man. That is a sobering way to look at it. I love the Holla-tic show when we do stuff like this, man. As Alex Wolf weighing in. Holla-tics Stephen Hunter say the fear of COVID-19 is killing more people faster than the actual disease. As long as I'm alive, I'm keep investing, doing business, and staying healthy as best as possible. That is Holla-tics Stephen Hunter, and that is your part, Stephen. I agree with you, man. If you're doing all you know to do, then you do your part. You know, as collectively a council, I'm asking you, do you believe us as a whole are doing enough? Alex say, yeah, this thing gonna run its course. You had Mike and Gabe saying, man, we could be doing more. These dudes ain't handling that on these masks the way they should. Holla-tics weighing in, Seven Grogan say, this is my true come down to the media. This truly comes down to the media lying to us and people fighting back. We're so sick of being lied to. So people refuse to wear masks because people choose not to believe the government. And now we people are realizing people are dying. They realize it too late. I 110% agree with you, Seven. In a nutshell, Seven is saying mistrust for government and us as a public have been lied to for so long that when they come with, it's the boy that cried wolf, right? Or that's right? That's the story. Ain't it one about something raining too? The boy that cried wolf. You know, you manipulate to the point where when you have to get a serious message across, nobody trusts it. And I think that is true. That is what Holla-tics 7 Grogan is saying. And I think he's absolutely right with that. Holla-tics Wolf say, I don't think leadership failed us in the beginning, though. I do think leadership failed us in the beginning, saying the same thing that Mike is saying concerning Trump and his bad judgment call. Holla-tics to weigh in. Y'all continue to weigh in again tonight on the floor, man, is COVID-19. According to Johns Hopkins University, we got 17,100,219 cases of coronavirus has been reported in the U.S. and 309,334 Americans are dead from the virus. Are we doing enough? That is what's on the floor tonight. I'm not only the narrator, orator, but I'm a Holla-tic. So I have to give my opinion as I've read off so many tonight. Are we doing enough? I feel like not as passionate as Wolf may be in saying, yes, I do feel like we doing enough, but I'm open-minded enough to listen to the Robinsons to say, nah, man, we could be doing more. People need to listen more. I'm kind of in between now. Again, and as I walk around my community, I see most people are compliant. But then I do see some knuckleheads, and I'm an older guy. I'm 50 years old. I could step out and say, hey, young man, you know, we're in the middle of a pandemic, man. You might be able to fight it off, but you might give it to somebody. I could step out and do that. So could it be more I could do? Yes. But do I think us as a society are doing enough? I don't think there's much more we can do outside of wearing masks rather, and not gathering. You know, a lot of these gatherings that are going against government regulations are a lot of young people. And again, the younger people seem to be more asymptomatic and have an easier time fighting the virus out. So can't say what you should do with your own body, but again, they saying the problem with that is that these people leave these events are spread to older people. And so how much of that is true, I don't know. We shouldn't even be trying to split the hair when it comes to that. I have not stepped out and told somebody you don't need to gather more than 10 or 20 or 50 people because I don't know what the gathering is about. I remember when that, when that mandate first dropped, and somebody in my family was in the middle of a funeral and they couldn't gather. And, they complained about it, but at the same time, I understood the government, but at the same time, I understood they complaint. So I'm not the one to get out here and tell somebody you can't gather. I don't know what the motives or the goal of your gathering is. I have to leave that to elected officials. I don't get paid to do that. So I think that's a little bit further than my authority would allow me. And so do I think we're doing enough as a society? I'm kind of in between. I feel like there's probably a little more we could do, but how much more can we do than put masks on? I feel a lot like Wolf that this thing is going to run its course. I do feel like the record numbers that we are experiencing is because we didn't take it as serious. And I feel like a lot of what Seven Grogan was saying is the reason we didn't take it as serious. I don't think American people have a death wish. I think we have been manipulated and lied to by government so much that we don't trust them. And so when they say, wear your mask, or you're going to die, we don't even know if it's real or not. It's like the boy cried wolf. So leadership, I blame the majority of what's happening to the country on. Now, Trump leadership, yeah, he should have took it more serious in the beginning. Yeah, he should have. But this problem is deeper than Donald Trump. Donald Trump had the presidency for 4 years. We've been watching politicians do all kinds of stuff to us as a public, underhandedly, for years. So this mistrust comes from years. And when I say to us as a public, I mean policy-wise. I don't care what a man does at his desk with his secretary or what he do when he punches the clock. That's not the type of stuff I want to see on news about my elected officials. I like to see stuff about what they're doing when they're sitting at their desk. And I think we have polluted so much of our... Are you serious, bro? Are you serious right now? We have polluted so much of our media with... That's my son, Wayne. Y'all seen him in the intro. We polluted so much of our media with all the other stuff that we don't know when to take the government serious when they're saying it's a life or death situation. I will end my way in by saying this. I heard Dr. Fauci stressing the fact that, the virus was partially created or is the product of an African-American woman. And I get him using that as a new window to say African Americans, you can trust this. But then when you read back on situations like the Tuskegee experiment, you realize, man, you have a long way to go than just, black doctor help with the vaccine. We should trust it. You're going to have more people it's going to take a lot more than that to win them over. Alice Wolf say, why can't the boy cry sheep, not wolf, huh? I guess because he's trying to tell on you, Alex. They misquoted he's saying wolf. He ain't talking about the growling wolf. He's saying you. Y'all go to Wolf's page. He's a big old strong black guy. So when you read the story about the boy crying wolf, he's talking about Alice Wolf. He's saying this big black guy's after me. Please help, man. Holla-tics, y'all weigh in tonight. Holla-tic Rod will say Dr. Fauci. Boy, y'all sure know how to screw up a passionate closing, huh? No, I'm just kidding, man. I love you dudes, man. I love you, Wolf. Love you, Rod. Appreciate y'all adding that humor in. Again, tonight on the floor, man, 17 million infected, 300,000 dead, according to John Hopkins University. COVID-19 is serious, so we doing enough. My way in was, yeah, I think so. I think we're doing a lot. Can we do more? I'm sure. I think it's gonna run its course, like Wolf said, but I think the numbers we are experiencing is a lot because of leadership and our lack of trust for leadership, and that goes beyond Donald Trump. It goes because of years of seeing the wrong kind of coverage on our officials. We don't trust none of them now, man. So Hollatics, y'all weigh in, man. We are on our way out. If you just checking in, shame on you. This is the Hollatics Live and Active podcast. We do this every night from 7:30 to 8:30. We on our way out, man. I am over by a minute. Didn't know the show was gonna go so well tonight. No show on Fridays. We take Fridays off, so we go Monday through Thursday. Those are the audio podcast hot days, man. So since the humor is good, says Stephen Hunter. Appreciate you, Stephen, man, checking in. Hollatics, I'm on my way out, man. If you have the opportunity to change somebody's life and God grants you the power, you need to do that. And as my man Pickle Juice, who's tuning in from YouTube, says, walk with the king and be a blessing in all things. Quoted to him by his parents from the late Reverend Ike. Hollatics, y'all find somebody and love on them. I'll see you guys Monday. Happy weekend.